Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hardcore Fab channel. Today's video, we're out of our shop and over at Connor's shop, and he has got his Packard here. We've had a bunch of people ask about the Packard since we did the one video on it, and you haven't really had much time to work on it, really, have you?
No, well, I've been working for you most of the time, so.
Today though, we had Alloyworks hit us up and ask us if we needed a radiator for any of our projects. As you guys know, we're working on the building and stuff like that. Connor is working on the square body, but we already had a radiator for it. But then I got thinking about it and I'm like, well, he needs one for this. So I told him, you know, that he needed one for this, and they were more than happy to send one over for us to check out and for him to have in the car. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna try to get this radiator in there and make it where it can actually maybe drive. So catch everybody up on what this is. We've got a lot of new people since the last video came out, and maybe they don't know yet. So
This is a 49 Packard. I bought it, I don't even know, how long ago was it? Like a year or so ago?
a year or so ago, probably, yeah.
Yeah, about a year or so ago, and I got it pretty much just like this. All the chrome and hood and bumpers and all that, all off of it, but I got all the pieces for it. I just need to put it back on there. But also, the radiator obviously needs replaced too, so we got that going. And
You had to do the fuel pump and some stuff to get it to start and go to begin with, though.
yeah, I had to figure that out, and it took us a while to even figure out how to start it, because you turn the key, but then it doesn't turn over, and then it took us a while to realize what it was, and then my friend Hogan was messing around in the car, and then he pushed the gas pedal all the way down and just started turning over. So I guess that's an interesting way to start a car.
Yeah, so go through the whole process to start it.
Turn the key and then make sure it's in neutral, you know, like a regular manual car, and then you just put your foot all the way to the floor on the gas, and it just starts turning over. And when it starts, just let your foot off the gas, and then there's supposed to be a vacuum in there to where you can't press the pedal all the way down to where it'll activate that when it's running. So
It's rather odd. I hadn't seen it before, but it's kind of neat. I mean, that's the cool thing about having something that's odd like this, is getting to find all the little quirks and things like that that you don't see on regular stuff. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool. So you also did brakes,
yeah,
right? So you went through the whole brake system on it, basically.
I mostly just did the wheel cylinders on there, because when I bought it, it had pretty much brand new all brake stuff on there, but it was sitting for so long the wheel cylinders just started leaking again. So I the front ones here, I was able to re-hone them and just put a wheel cylinder kit in there, and then the back ones I ended up just buying new wheel cylinders, which off of eBay. So
cool. So now it will start and it will run, but then you have the big giant thing here of a radiator that was leaking, and no one could fix it.
Nope.
So
Not from what I found.
you took it to a couple different places and they all said no, right?
Yep, it just keeps leaking, so ended up having to get that.
So that's been kind of his holdup since. How much is one of these if you buy one that's actually for a Packard?
One that doesn't look original to the car is like $800, and then if you buy one that's supposed to look kind of original to the car, it's like $12.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane. Insane. Well, this one over there from Alloyworks looks really good. It is going to actually probably be the nicest looking thing under the hood now.
Yep.
It is not for a Packard. They don't make one for a Packard because there's not enough of a demand for them to make them, which is the reason why those other people can get away with the radiators being so expensive. But we found something that was super close, and I think that we're going to be able to make it work in there. At least we're going to find out if we're going to be able to anyway. So the overall size is a little bit narrower and a little bit shorter and all of that, but it's aluminum, and as you guys know, aluminum cools better than the old brass and stuff anyways, so it should be plenty of radiator. That one does have the stuff in it for an automatic transmission. That radiator was for a 32 Chevy is what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's for a 32 Chevy with like a, you know, small block conversion in it or whatever. So it's got automatic tranny cooler in it. We'll just leave the plugs in there since he doesn't have an automatic transmission, so that won't affect anything. And the rest of it is pretty close to being where it would work. The only thing is maybe that bottom radiator hose, that one kicks up, kind of weird. So we'll probably have to figure out something for some hoses that we can, you know, cut some sections out or whatever to make it work. Where's that tube thing at? It already has from the factory just kind of a metal tube in there where there's just a couple of elbows or a couple pieces of hose anyway. So yeah, so we can take that and just maybe add another elbow piece off the end of it, and I think we'll be good.
Yep, I think so.
Well, let's stick it in there and see what we got to do to make it work.
Sweet.
So right off the bat, I'm seeing those little tabs on the bottom we're probably going to have to cut off.
Yep.
Kind of.
Are we?
No, there's little bolts sticking through there that are catching on.
Yep. I can jimmy this thing down in here.
So that's actually sitting on the sway bar right there.
Yep. So that's gonna have
to come up just a little bit. And then you got your fan.
Yeah.
Probably ought to see. Should clear because the other one was in there and it cleared. So there's lots of room if it's just bolted on. So this will go back some too, won't it?
Try not to dent this thing up like crazy. Well, that's gonna have to go up.
Yeah, we won't be able to do that.
Quite a bit.
So it's a good thing we put that up there.
Yeah.
Let's measure from this bolt hole here to the top of the other radiator to see how high that was and make sure we're not going to have any hood clearance problems or anything. So we'll go from the top bolt hole there where it mounted in there to the top of here. We're at, I'm going to say about 10.5, 11 inches. So how far are we over here then? Oh, we can go up that.
Oh yeah, that's like nothing.
Wow, that goes up. That hood must have a big bubble in the center of it.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So we got plenty of room to raise it then. So really we just need some kind of a, maybe just a piece of angle that we bolt from this one, that tab, and that tab down there, that can then come over here and we just locate these holes and then drill those holes in there and bolt it in.
Yeah. I think I'll be alright.
I don't think that'd be too bad.
Yeah.
Then we just got to figure out the height to where the fan clears and some radiator hoses and we're done.
Yeah.
Now we're 4 2x4s up.
That's probably really 2x4.
Somewhere in the neighborhood though.
Yeah, that's close. And it might be the width of one.
That finally clears.
But is the hose gonna hit it when it's sitting on there?
Don't know. We might need to go just a hair higher than that.
Metal wedges and something.
Yeah. Plus, how far was it from that top hole to the top of the radiator? 10.5 or something?
10.5 levels.
That's about all the higher we can go. Just fire it up, put it to the floor, and let it sort itself out.
Yep. I'll take a few seconds.
Pretty sure that this ginormous old fan is probably going to win.
Yeah.
It doesn't even flex with your hands. It's made out of like real steel from back in the day.
Yeah. Yep. If we put that hose on there, it's actually an issue. I think it'd be that big of an issue if we just trim it with hair.
Yeah, if it ends up coming into contact, that's what we'd have to do probably, yeah. We just got to make sure and take the same amount off each one so that it'll be balanced and not throw it out of whack.
Yep.
Eyeball it. Eyeball it. It'll be fine. Just send it.
Yep.
Well, now, where's your angle iron at?
I set it on the floor in front of the door.
So here's kind of what we're looking at the moment. We've got a few blocks in here to kind of block it up. These little tabs that are down here are kind of hanging up just a little. Oops, and I just hit the board and moved it. Those tabs are kind of hanging up a little bit, so we might go ahead and cut those off. And then Connor pointed out, and I was just kind of looking at it just now, these little pieces here that kind of help shoot the air down into the radiator are actually just a little bit too far back here, and they're kind of hidden right here. So we might trim out that just a little bit as well and be able to gain a little bit of room, take the whole thing and move it back this way. That'll let it stand up straight, because right now it's not quite straight up and down. It's a little bit of an angle, and we need to straighten it up. You've got a piece of angle there you just cut.
Yep.
So we're going to stick that up there and see if that kind of will halfway work. So we got the two bolts, like one there and one down here that the radiator was attaching to originally. So we should be able to bolt this to these, and then if we get the holes in the right spot, we can just slip this right in place. So
looks like it'll work just fine.
Got the right size now?
I think so.
Cool.
Probably need washers, but I'm sure I'll have to take these off and paint them and stuff. So
Around the corners and whatnot.
yeah.
We have already leveled the car, and we double checked on the hood to make sure there was going to be clearance here, and everything looks pretty good. So if we can get this sitting level and get some clamps on it, we can mark the holes for the core support to bolt up and be ready to rock and roll. I guess we'll need some hoses. Hoses are going to be a little bit of a chore, but I don't think it's undoable. I think we'll be able to get them. That's level right there. Right there. That's level. Okay, so now we need to drill some holes to be able to mount this to the car, so I'll be able to get in there with something to mark those holes. I think I can get my marker in this side. I don't know about that side.
Got a pencil.
Got a pencil? Might need it. So here's kind of a look at how it kind of finally turned out. Still going to probably round off the edges and paint this all up and everything. So these aren't tight or anything yet, but overall fit in there really nice. The way that that was designed, it worked out quite well. And you can see we got enough clearance there. If I can get this to pull or not. Got enough clearance there to where there's, you know, fingers or two worth of room there on the hose, so hopefully that won't be a problem. And the bottom one now, Connor is working on putting that tube and hose stuff that he's got there back on, and we'll see what that's going to look like. This is the top hose. The top hose is going to be a little bit awkward because it's kind of bending back to go this way. It'd be really nice if this wasn't angled over in that direction, but hopefully we'll be able to find a hose that'll bend it and go back this way and not be a big deal.
So, yep.
But it's pretty close to lining up with that.
Pretty close.
I don't know if you guys can see it down there very good or not. That's our neck for the, and that's the bottom of that, so pretty close. We just need an elbow down there to make it work. So now we need to figure out radiator hoses. So let's take this piece of wire and we'll just bend it in the direction that we need the hose to go and kind of have the same angles and stuff, so we can take this to the parts house and then we can go through and look through everything they got until we find something that works.
Alright.
So this one's weird. We gotta put a bend in it here to get it to go over that way a little bit off of the radiator. Something like that. That probably doesn't exist, but
Make it exist.
gives us an idea of something to look for. We might have to do kind of like what they did from the factory, where there's a tube in the middle. So we can find the right two ends and then just put something in the middle to connect them.
Yeah.
And we also need to measure. What is this one? This thing's right at 2 inches, and this side's only 1.5 inches.
Figure out how to make the.
So yeah, we gotta step it just a little bit there. Which isn't a big deal because a lot of hoses have a flared end on them. It'll be like 1.5 inches, and then they'll flare out the end of it to 1.75 inches or 2 inches or something. So should be able to make it work. On the bottom, we just need an elbow, right?
I think so.
So we already tried that on the radiator earlier. So as long as we have an elbow with that size, we should be able to slip that on there and make it work. Alright, so our first attempt of the radiator hose on the top did not work.
Nope.
And try this flexible one and see if that'll do it.
That should go
I think that works.
I think so.
Clear fan. Not by much, but enough.
Yeah. Does that hose need to be lower than the, or about level with the?
With the fill cap?
Yeah. Fill cap or with this, outlet here, because
Yeah, it's got an uphill. Is that the longer hose or the shorter one?
that's the shorter one.
That's the shorter one? Yeah, that'll probably be alright.
Cool.
There's a little drink here. Little Dr. Pepper always juices everybody up, don't it? Wire limb off of this wire going to this horn. It hit the fan. I thought it was something flying out there was going to hit me. Yeah, it's idling now at least. We never tightened up the fan bolts.
Oh yeah.
Thought I better shut it back off before it runs the brand new radiator.
Yeah.
Fan come off and go through the brand new radiator. That'd be bad.
Yeah, that would be kind of bad.
Terry's playing with the carburetor a little bit. Getting warm yet?
Yeah, a little warm. It's not like hot. It's kind of warm.
Really do any difference on it. Other when you shut it clear down, it does want to kill it more.
I was hoping it'd run a little bit here and that tick would go away.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too. Because if I want to get to that lifter, I got to get to a panel under all that manifold and all that.
Yeah, that don't sound like fun.
No, not at all.
Well, he's ran it for a little bit, and it seems like everything's holding and working out pretty good. So we're going to try to get it out of there and see if we can't run it up down the road just a little bit. It'll be the first time he actually gets to drive it. So it does still have a little bit of a tick in the motor. We did dump a little bit of transmission fluid in there. Still learning how to use the clutch. He knows how to drive a standard, but just getting used to that one. Probably need to pull it over here a little closer to the air compressor and air up some tires too. So let me help him get it out of here. Okay. You have to back up. How do you like that modern day power steering stuff?
Oh yeah, that's real one. I love it.
Keep coming. Okay. I think you might make it now. Woo!
Figure that out.
Do what?
I don't think the clutch synchronized, so I'm trying to figure that out.
Yep, definitely got a couple there up.
Yep.
So is it everything that you've ever dreamed about so far?
Not quite, but it's not horrible. Just a little bit learning it.
And then figuring out that 3 on the tree.
Yep.
Is it 3? Yeah, it's got to be 3 on the tree,
it's
right?
3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Not horrible, just different.
Yeah. Really wish the little tick would go away.
Yeah.
I think that would make it idle smooth too. Yeah, this front tire's a little low. Back tire's definitely low. This side's filthy. Filthy, filthy. It's not as low. So I guess we'll let him air those up real quick and we'll see if it'll actually drive up and down the road. So this is like probably the first time in 10, 15, 20 years, who knows, that this thing's actually drove out of a building on its own. You know, I've actually never drove or rode in a Packard.
Yeah, this is the first time I ever rode either. Well, 2. See how this goes. Clutch is like, you can let it out like pretty much all the way before it actually even like hooks.
Really?
Yeah. Is that a good or a bad thing?
Well,
I don't think it's a good thing.
probably should be a little bit closer to the floor.
Probably.
But generally you don't want them releasing right at the floor.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, the manuals I drove never did, so.
Are you in first gear for sure?
I'm pretty sure I'm forward and then down.
Forward and down?
That's what I heard it was from these ones. No, I don't know. Yep, that's first gear. It's kind of hard to tell if it's in first gear or not. Sometimes it like doesn't want to go in all the way, then I have to let the clutch out some for it to pop into gear. Sometimes it just goes in gear.
Yeah. It's actually pretty quiet sounding, other than the little bit of lifter noise. Suspension and stuff sounds okay.
Yeah.
It's not all clangy bangy sounding.
This one.
Okay.
So my phone overheated and we picked up a stray. But it's driving. Let me flip this around and give you guys a little bit of a view here. It is 101 degrees out right now and I don't know what it feels like, but it's horrible. So it is stopping. That's a good thing because, you know,
Brakes.
big giant snow blades and stuff across the street over there, that'd be bad. Connor's getting the old shifter here figured out.
Yep.
That's second.
I guess so.
Yeah, gotta be.
See if we can do a quick stop.
Woo. Don't do that.
Yep. Still not completely figured out, but it's okay.
See how it feels on the train tracks. These are really rough too.
Yep. Oh, stall that. And I stalled out on the train tracks.
Stalled on the train tracks. That's not good.
I'll be out of gas.
I mean, it's on E.
Yeah, I didn't think that worked though, and I put some gas in there, but I didn't think it'd burn gas that fast.
Are we still on the tracks?
Probably closer than I want to be.
Probably need to move.
Probably shouldn't move.
All right.
I got switch for you.
Yep.
Here, you get in. We'll push you. It's me. Good Lord. What do you think this thing weighs?
More than what I want to know.
All right, it's going downhill now. At least it's off the train tracks.
If I had to guess, it probably weighs around 8,000 pounds. Well, maybe.
We'll do anything on flat land? Nope, you're out of gas.
Yep. I put some in there, I swear.
Uh-huh.
But
How much did you put in there?
I don't know, whatever was left in that jug. So.
Well, Dad to the rescue.
Yep. These youngins just don't understand about a little gas in the car.
Yep. This ain't electric, you know.
I wish I was cool enough to even ride one. Fuel pumps in mine to start up.
Almost. Probably better dump some in there before you kill it. Probably enough.
Try it again.
Sucks. Suck some junk in the filter.
Tomato.
No, it's still not pumping yet. It's still not pumping. Look at the filter.
Still not.
It's still not pumping. Well, it's not picking up fuel. The fuel pump is probably actually too far away from the tank in all reality. So, dragging out the chain. Connor's dad's gonna drag us back to the shop.
Wrap it up around, throw it back on that. Mire in front would even work. I think.
Well, that didn't end up quite like we were planning, but we're only a couple blocks away from the shop, so it's not that big of a deal.
Last time I done this, I was siphoning gas.
I'm not supposed to tell anybody that.
I think it was out of that truck.
Oh, turn the key on.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to turn the key on, have the fuel pump going, try to prime the line with the little bit of air pressure here. Now that there's a little bit of fuel in it, And we'll see if we get some gas up here to the filter finally. Go for it. That'll work. You got fuel up here now. You got fuel up here now.
Sweet, and it had a bunch of back pressure just shot all over.
Well, you're supposed to let that off a little bit easier.
I tried to, but this one only air hose like fine.
Oh, okay.
Sucks.
See if it'll start now. I bet it will. Well, you got to drive it for the first time. What's your thoughts?
It's different. It's kind of fun when you don't run out of gas, of course. But
Right.
that's
On the train tracks.
on the train tracks. But it's not a horrible thing. It's not the best thing, but
It's not a brand new Corvette by any way, shape, or form, but it actually seems like it rides out fairly good. And
yeah.
like I said, wasn't all clangy and bangy when it was going down the road.
That was pretty nice.
So what's your plans from here?
I don't know. I think I might get rid of it because I've had it for so long and I can't find the time to really actually work on it and get it done. And so I don't know. I guess that's about where I'm at.
So you think you're going to sell it, huh?
I think so. Get something cooler, something that might not need as much work.
Something that's a little more appropriate for someone that's 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, something that's not as big as a project.
Yeah. Well, I guess with that said, if anybody is looking for a Packard, it's kind of a project, but obviously runs and drives somewhat, get a hold of me and I'll get you in touch with Connor and we'll go from there. But I guess for now, this video is done. Appreciate Alloyworks for sending us over the radiator to get this thing going. That was a super nice piece and
Yeah, definitely.
worked out really good. And yeah.
Yeah,
Anything else to add?
I don't think so.
See you guys.
See you.